All right, so yesterday, Manchester United lost 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. And, man, where do I even begin with this game? We got both clubs considered Big Six clubs in the Premier League, right? But they both have been struggling this year, to say it respectfully. I think before this game that Tottenham was 14th and Manchester United was 15th, or it was vice versa. Doesn't really matter, whatever. They both suck. But the thing about Spurs, right? They just got some really good players back from injury crisis, and like James Maddison and some others. And then they have new signings over January, and, well, one new signing in January, Tell, he attacker, striker. They needed that. And then we look at Manchester United, right? Oh, man, where do I even begin with this club? So, they brought in a new manager earlier this year. He plays a 3-4-3 formation. And he's stuck with a bunch of players that are used to Erik ten Hag's 4-3-3 system. And his board, his players, he has maybe 5 players that could play that system, and I think they're all defenders. Look, a back three, he has Mazraoui. He's solid. He can play that. Harry Maguire, who I thought has been looking good in the back three. Can't lie. A lot of hate for Harry Maguire in the past few years. Understandable. But I think he's actually been decent this year for them. And then De Ligt. And I think De Ligt we know what De Ligt is. He can be a top world-class defender. He has the talent, and I think he's been decent this year. Not lived up to his potential, though. But I don't think those 3 center backs are the problem for Manchester United. And then you look, man, this midfield. This midfield is something embarrassing, if anything. But, man, look at their midfield. They started Bruno, Casemiro, Xerxes, and Garnacho. That was their midfield. God, Casemiro. He cannot play at this level of football anymore, which is a shame to say. But, my God, this guy, when I was watching him, every time he got the ball, he just is so slow with it. He's always like, oh, I got time to play this pass here. Let me look around, see if I can play this pass. Oh, shit. Oh, I can play it over to him. Oh, shit, this guy behind me just came behind and stole my pass, or stole my ball. Yeah, that's Casemiro nowadays. He just is slow, can't do anything. I can't believe that in 2025 that Manchester United have to rely on him to be their central defensive midfielder. How can you have a central defensive midfielder who has no legs? It doesn't make any sense. Your central defensive midfielder needs to have legs. It's that simple. Casemiro does not have legs anymore in that midfield. He is too slow. He takes way too much time on the ball. He doesn't know what to do when he has the ball. But yeah, everyone already knew that before this year, because there were signs of it happening last year, especially at the end of the season last year, how much times Casemiro made mistakes. Every Manchester United fan would say, yeah, we can't have Casemiro on this team. He's just not good enough anymore. I mean, yeah. And then Bruno fucking Fernandes. Mr. fucking Hollywood is what I call him, because, man, this guy just likes to make Hollywood passes. Can I tell you that? He is not supposed to be a midfielder. He's supposed to be a number 10. But Manchester United have no midfielders right now. So they had to put him in the midfield. And what do we see? We saw Bruno. He's not going to be defensively helpful. And then if you drop him off in the midfield, he's just going to be sitting there. Oh, long ball there, long ball there. Ah, shit, that long ball didn't work. Ah, shit. Oh, I'm going to throw a long ball over to Garnacho on the wing. Oh, it got cut off, and now Spurs are about to be on a counter. I mean, it's just over and over again with Bruno. But the thing about Bruno is, and this Manchester United squad is, as much as people say, yeah, Bruno was bad, Bruno was this, Bruno did all this. Well, Bruno is their best player, unfortunately. And it's just like that. I mean, when you take Bruno Fernandes off for Manchester United, they just become even worse. Like, way worse. Which is crazy to me, because Bruno just turns over the ball more than any other midfielder I've ever watched. But they're worse without him, which doesn't make any sense. They need a, I don't know. They need a lot. They need more than just one position. But I do want to take a shout out to Dorgu. He was playing left wing back. He just came in. This was his second ever game, and he really fits Amarin's system. He is one of the only players I've seen play wing back for Amarin really fucking good. Like, if you look at that last game, if you look at Dalot on the right side and Dorgu on the left side, complete difference. Just a complete difference on, like, attacking. And then you could say, oh, but he has Garnacho on that wing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Garnacho's the only natural winger, but I think Xerxes on the other side of the field was better than what Garnacho was doing on the left side. So, yeah. And then, man, Andre Onana, the goalkeeper for Manchester United. He was brought in to be a ball-playing goalkeeper, and he's a average shot stopper. But he was brought in to be a ball-playing goalkeeper so they can play out from the back. Because that is how football is played nowadays. They got to play. All the top teams, you got to play from outside the back. And it helps when you have a goalkeeper who's meant to do that. But Onana, I don't know what happened to him. When he was at Inter, he was a really good ball-playing goalkeeper. But ever since he got to Manchester United, I don't know what happened, but he cannot play a single good ball. Like, that throw he had in, like, the 85th minute yesterday, that is just embarrassing. I mean, I don't even know what to start. Okay, in this video, I want to talk about how Manchester United have failed their new manager that they appointed earlier this year. I think it was in November or December that they appointed Ruben Amorim as their new manager after they fired Erik ten Hag. And let's start out with saying this. Erik ten Hag, right? He runs a completely different system than Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim likes to run a 3-4-3 formation And Erik ten Hag likes to run a 4-3-3 system, which doesn't sound too different, but there's a lot of differences in those systems. So, in Erik ten Hag's system, 4-3-3, right? You have 4 defenders, right? You have 2 center backs. 2 center backs. And under those 2 center backs, Erik ten Hag's probably most favorite after he bought him was De Ligt and Martinez to play those 2 center backs. And I think center back is probably the easiest role to move from a back 4 to a back 3, because wing backs, like your left back, right back nowadays, they like to get forward. So in a 3-4-3, your wing backs, your left back is not a left back, he's a wing back. So his job is, I get 4 when we have the ball or we're countering. But if the other team has the ball a lot in a 3-4-3, your wing back basically drops down to a back 5. But if you don't have the ball, your wing backs get forward in a 3-4-3. But in a 4-3-3, when you have the ball, only one wing back probably gets, or one back, left back or right back goes forward. The other one probably drops off into the midfield. And that's what Erik ten Hag did. But now you got Ruben Amorim in here. Completely different system. He needs different players to fit his system. All the players that were brought into Manchester United were fit to all the players that came into Manchester United under Erik ten Hag were built to play a 4-3-3. They were meant to be, holding midfielders who can do this. Attacking midfielder like Bruno, who plays a number 10 right behind the striker, and whoever the striker is, Xerxes or Holland. But now, under the formation of Amorim, 3-4-3, you got your 3 center backs in the back 3, right? And De Ligt, Maguire, and Mazraoui. And I think they've been really good in this back 3. I don't think they're the problem. And then you got your 2 midfielders right there. In the 2. The 2 out of the 4, the 3-4-3 midfielders. Big midfielders who need legs in that system. And they're playing Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in that system right now. Those are 2 midfielders that don't have fucking legs. Those are 2 midfielders that don't have legs. And Bruno, he is not a midfielder. He is a number 10. He is not some guy you want to drop in the midfield and be like, oh yeah, I need you to hold possession for us, win the ball for us, defend for us, all that. Like a midfielder should be. He is a number 10. He is a guy you want on the ball in the attack, looking for a ball to feed to a striker or wingers. Or in this case, it would either be Garnacho, because he is up there. So they got this. In Amorim's system, they have a striker up here, and then they got 2 midfielders right here who also should play out wide, right? And then you got Garnacho here, and he is on this left side. And then I think they should play Bruno right next to him, where he can just sit there right behind Garnacho, and whoever their striker is going to be, Xerxes or Rasmus Holland, whatever. They both are interesting players, but they need to play Bruno there so he can just sit there and not have to drop back in defense like he was doing in the Spurs game. Because if he's dropping back in defense and they're passing him the ball out from behind, the amount of times it was either De Ligt, Maguire, Mazraoui, Dallo, someone, they would win the ball back in their half, pass it to Bruno, and Bruno would just do some Hollywood long ball or play it too fast or just not, or hold on to the ball too long and just lose it. And there was a couple good passes he did play during that game because, he's Bruno Fernandes. He can do that. He can do some crazy passes for you. That's why you need him as a number 10, because number 10, you want a player who's going to be, in that final third making passes like that. But, when you're not in your final third, you don't want a player making fucking crazy passes to get, you just want simple passes to play out of the back. And then Bruno Fernandes does not offer that. He'll just do crazy passes to try to get him from playing out of the back. And it just ends up to turnovers a lot of the time, which is unfortunate for them. And I don't want to... Look, Bruno is not the issue at this club. There's a lot of issues at this club. Bruno's not one. He was forced to play that position because Amarin had no one else to play in the midfield because Kobe Mainoo's out with that injury, and he could play there really well. Ugarte, that role is built for him. He's injured. So it's Eriksen is not even the best midfielder for that kind of role, but he's better than Bruno, at least. He was hurt. And then a bunch of you have a bunch of 18, 17-year-olds on the bench from the academy. And Amarim did not want to throw him in, which is understandable. You don't want to ruin the young guy's confidence in a game like that. So, but man, I am so curious what Manchester United is going to do this summer. Are they going to fire their coach? I think they will. I don't think he should be fired. They gave him one player that fit his system. And Dorgu. And Dorgu was probably one of their best players yesterday. It was either him, Xerxes. Yeah, it was either him or Xerxes yesterday for best player, in my opinion. Everyone else, yeah, I don't know.